Hello. Yeah, we're going to check out the audio to make sure it works. I do that at the beginning of every single show. Welcome to Shop Talk. I see there's already at least one person tuning in, and that's pretty cool. Shop Talk for, what is it today? July the 21st. Sounds like my audio's looking pretty good, or sounds pretty good. I'm trying to figure out if I'm centered. I don't know why. I always struggle with that. Anyway, Shop Talk. Wow. I have a couple of things to go over today, but I feel like I don't have a lot. So we'll have to see. There's my other view. I always like to have at least two views, different views that you can, so you don't have to look at my face all the time. But anyway, this is my favorite view. And Shop Talk. Let's see. I've been doing this now for about a year. And it seems like there are times when I struggle with, I don't think I'm going to do it anymore, because sometimes I feel like I don't have enough information to go over with you on. And other times I feel like, well, I just kind of keep repeating myself. But the thing is, like, there's always something going on in the car community. There's always news. Sometimes it's real and sometimes it's not real. And I just want to talk about a couple of things today that I've had on my mind. And I wanted to kind of hold on a minute to see if some other people showed up. If you can, leave a comment. Let me know who you are, where you're from. I would appreciate that. I know I've had a few new people join just in the last week or so. I appreciate that. If you aren't subscribed to MusicMan's Garage, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Like I've said many times before, it's 100% free. Now, I know if you subscribe to Paramount Plus, it costs $12.99 or $14.99 a month. But when you subscribe to a channel on YouTube, it absolutely doesn't cost a thing. So with that being said, now there are things that us YouTubers do to kind of help support the channel. And so honestly, I've got a couple of collaborators, a couple of companies that decided they would help support my channel. Except here's the thing. In order for that to happen, my viewers have to actually purchase the things that I'm affiliated with. So Coldest.com, they make really good drink bottles. I've showed those to you before on my show. But today I'm running so crazy behind that I didn't even have time to go downstairs and grab mine and show it to you again. Anyway, Coldest.com, there is a link in the description below on my channel. If it's not on this exact video, it's definitely on the main page. If you buy one of those, it helps support MusicMan's Garage. Again, I don't get paid to do this. I do this for fun. But I do have to mention those. And another thing that I need to tell you is that I use Ecamm Live. Actually, they just updated it. It's called Ecamm now. Apparently, they took the live out of it. It's just called Ecamm. I use their software to broadcast my show. Sometimes I use it to make videos here in my studio. And so, I pay for that. I pay a monthly fee for that to have it. If you're looking to get into doing something like this, like a live show, I highly recommend Ecamm. They're easy to work with. They guide you through whatever you need to get, information you need to get. But so with that being said, one more thing, I want to tell you about NCM insurance. Like, NCM insurance is one of those things where if you have a collector car or you have a vehicle that is a sweet spot in your garage and you're looking for insurance, they do have, like, I think it's 3 different criteria. So number 1, the car has to be garage kept. You can choose between 1,000, 3,000, and 6,000 miles a year. And you have to have a daily driver. If you have all 3 of those, you qualify to use NCM insurance. Now, for me, they have saved me $1,200 a year on my cars. So that's a pretty incredible savings. I was going through my local guy here in Fort Wayne, and I checked into NCM insurance, and they saved me $1,200 a year. So I highly recommend them. It doesn't have to be a Corvette. It doesn't have to be even a Chevy. If it's a collector car and you fall into that criteria, you can reach out to them and they'll give you a quote. So check those people out. Anyway, moving along. So I guess one of the things that I really want to talk about, and I'm just going to go into it because I don't really know where to start. But one of the things I want to talk about, and I mentioned it on my last show, a couple months ago, everybody was like talking about GM is going to bring back the Camaro. And I'll be honest with you, I got a little frustrated because there's so much false information out there on the internet. And you don't know from one day to the next what to believe and what not to believe. And everybody was losing their mind. You know, they talked about, it's going to be a 4-door. They're going to start making it at the end of 26 for the 27-year model. And it's going to be a 4-door. You know, obviously before that, everybody was talking about they're going to make an electric one. And, you know, there have been articles that I've read that have squashed that whole idea of it being an electric car. It's going to be a naturally aspirated car. Now, I want to back up real quick, and I want to give you a little bit of a backstory to where I'm going with this. I got a little frustrated because I hear people talking all the time, and when they talk, they act like they have the inside scoop. They act like they know more than you know, they know more than I know, and it doesn't matter what you think because I've got the inside scoop. I have a connection over at GM, and they told me this, and what I know is more accurate than what you know. And literally, I just got kind of tired of it. I got a little bit frustrated because I do that once in a while. I'm an old man. But I want to tell you about in April when I went down to the National Corvette Museum in Bowling Green, Kentucky. I went down there for a festival called the Michelin Bash. And while I was at the Michelin Bash, I took my car, my C7 Corvette, I took it out to the Motorsports Park. I paid to drive my car on the track down there. It's like $100 and you get, 4 laps, which is something that I believe everybody should do. Even if you don't have a Corvette, I did it last year with my Camaro. I did it this year in the C7, and I can't wait to get back down there with the C8 because I will be doing it with the C8. It's an incredible experience. Anyway, I was out on the track in the staging area waiting my turn to go out onto the track. And I just got out of my car and was mingling around talking to different people. And I was talking to this gentleman beside me. He had a C6, Z06, and one of his friends was with him in the passenger seat. And for some reason, I think I mentioned, yeah, I've been down here with my Camaro last year, and I'm getting ready to drive my C7, and I'm pretty excited about that. Well, when I started talking about the Camaro, again, back then in April, I was a little frustrated with the whole situation. And are they bringing it back, or are they just talking about it? And the gentleman in the passenger seat of this C6 Z06 told me that he was from North Carolina. I don't remember his name. He gave me his business card. I can't find his business card. But he proceeded to tell me that he was best friends with a couple of individuals at Hendrick Motorsports. Now, when you start throwing out names and I start to hear someone tell me that they know this guy from this company, and we all know that Hendrick Motorsports is huge in America. They pretty much know what they're doing. So I started listening to this guy, and he proceeded to tell me that his really good friend that he has lunch with and plays golf with told him that GM is in fact going to bring back the Camaro for sure. Now, he also told me that the Camaro they're going to release a Z28 platform in the Camaro. And I'm like, oh boy, here we go again. Someone else that knows more about it, and they have the inside scoop, and, do I believe them or do I not believe them? What am I supposed to do here? Because we all know how that goes, in different scenarios. You have people that think they know and people that act like they know, people that want to know, but they really don't know. And then you start talking to this dude, and he's throwing out names. He's telling me where these people work and who they are, and he says GM's coming out with a Z28. Well, I just kind of like, okay, great, that's awesome. Right now, I'm driving my Corvette. I don't really care, and I'll be honest with you, I got to a point where I didn't care because I'm frustrated with GM for even canceling the Camaro. Why would you cancel a car that everybody wants? Why would you, GM, if you're listening, why would you cancel the Camaro twice? And there are tons of people that love the Camaro. I'm one of them. Why would you cancel it? Why would you stop making it? Why? I mean, it's not like you aren't selling them. They're sold out. Like, they buy them. People are buying the car. So why would you stop making them? Well, it's because of this. It's because the government wants us to go electric, and we had to choose one car. We chose the Corvette. Okay, I get all that. But, all of that stuff went by the wayside now because of the new, more improved administration in the White House. We won't go there. But why would you cancel the Camaro? So I'm frustrated with that. And anyway, so last week or 2 weeks ago on my show, I mentioned something about the Camaro and how everybody was talking about it. And then all of a sudden, we went quiet, like nobody was talking about the Camaro. And it's funny because I got done with my show 2 weeks ago on Tuesday night, and I was in my semi on my way to Chicago, and I got a notification from one of my favorite channels on YouTube other than mine. And I have been watching this guy for several years. And when he says something, I believe it. When he tells me that he has inside information, I believe it. This guy has over 100,000 subscribers. He's been doing YouTube for 8 years now, I think, close to 8 years. He quit his job and now he does YouTube full time. I've said the name of his channel on here many of times. I'm not afraid to say it. The name of his channel is Brink of Speed, and the guy, his name is Mike. Well, Mike put out a video 2 weeks ago about the new Camaro platform, and he proceeded to tell everybody, tell us all that he has a connection at GM, and I believe him. His connection sent him some text messages and verified that GM is actually going to make another Camaro. Now, according to this video, the Camaro is going to have several different platforms. They might put out a 4-door, but they're also going to hopefully put out a 2-door. And instead of making, like the 4-cylinder, the 6-cylinder, the 8-cylinder, and, like the SS, the 2SS, and then, of course, the big monster, which we all know is the ZL1 because it's the V8 with the supercharger on it. Instead of the ZL1, this inside information said that they were going to start producing a brand new 2027, right, Z28. Now, I know that when he said Z28, that completely got my attention because, again, it goes back to what I just told you about my friend that I talked to that I can't remember his name. Had this conversation in April. His connection said Z28, and now my favorite YouTuber is telling me Z28. And again, I believe when this guy says something, I believe it because I just do. All right. So I wanted to tell you that I'm not saying that I have proof that this is all happening. There actually isn't a 100% verified newscast or news announcement from GM. This is all really still speculation. GM hasn't provided this proof of information. So this is all speculation. This is all, let's hope that this actually happens. And some of this information, sometimes it comes from people within the company of GM because they know, even though they're not really supposed to discuss it, they still tell some of their close friends. So what do you think about it? What if you're on here and you're watching this show, what do you think about it? Now, according to Mike from Brink of Speed, the Z28 is going to be it's going to have the new motor in it, if I remember right. I watched it a couple times, and again, there's so much information. The new 6.7 liter V8 with 535 horsepower, right? The new motor that they're putting in the Corvette right now. And they're saying that this car is going to have a supercharger on it. And they're also saying that it could have up to 800 horsepower in the new Camaro Z28. Now, I don't know about you, but in my mind, when I start hearing that sort of thing, I'm starting to think this car is going to be incredible if they follow through with it. But how much is it going to cost? So, Camaros toward the end, when they were putting out the ZL1 Collector's Edition, they were $95,000. You couldn't touch one for less than the low 90s for a ZL1 Collector's Edition Camaro when they stopped making them in 2024. Now, if they bring them back and they come out with the Z28 with the bigger motor with a supercharger and 800 horsepower, how much do you think that's going to cost? For me, I just kind of like ballpark it, and I'm thinking it's probably going to be at least 95, maybe 95 to 115 grand for this car. My question is, are you going to buy one? Do you think that you would go all in and buy a new Z28 if GM decided that they wanted to put this vehicle out? Now, according to my sources, it would be in place of the ZL1. So they wouldn't make that platform. They would call it the Z28. So I don't know. I'm pretty excited to hear that information. I think that it is definitely something that I want to see. I want to see it happen, because I know there are a lot of people out there that are 100% Camaro or nothing. Like, I'm not one of those people. I like other cars. Like, I've had 4 Camaros, and I love my Camaros, but I also love Corvette, and now I'm on my second Corvette. And if they put the Z28 out, right, and it's $100,000 car, guess what? That's more money than what I paid for my C8 Corvette. So I would have to decide. Like, it would have to be, for me, first and foremost, it couldn't be a 4-door. You can't put a 4-door Z28 out. Don't do that, GM. People will lose their mind if you do that. Please don't do that, GM. If you're going to make a Z28, it's got to be a 2-door. And they're also talking about it possibly being a manual transmission. Now, that's something that they say will never happen in the Corvette world. Well, is it? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I know there's already a company out there on the side that's putting out a transmission where you take your Corvette to them and they change your automatic Corvette C8 into a manual transmission car. I don't know what that costs. I'm sure that it costs a lot of money, and would I want to do it? No, absolutely not. If it doesn't come from the factory, then I probably wouldn't do it. But anyway, so Z28, 8-cylinder, supercharger, manual transmission, 800 horsepower. What are your thoughts on that? Leave a message for me, will you? Tell me what you think about that. Do you think that's crazy? Do you think that it will happen? And would you save your pennies to buy one? I don't know. I think it would be pretty incredible if they did do that. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see, because again, I had a conversation with the guy in April. I didn't know what to think of it. And then 2 weeks ago, somebody that I trust a lot was bringing up the same thing, talking about basically the same exact thing. And if they're willing to put a video out about it and say that their connections have told them this information, then I believe that they're pretty confident that what they've heard or what they've discussed with their inside person could possibly come to reality. So I wanted to put that on there. Like I told my best friend back in April, I'm like, Dave, mark my word, through all the hubbub, all the different people on the internet putting out information about stuff, whether it's true or false, I had this conversation. And I want you to know, on this day, I'm telling you that this conversation happened. And Dave's like, okay, I remember. Well, 2 weeks ago, I talked to Dave again, and I'm like, Dave, you got to watch this video. You remember in April when I said this could happen? And he's like, yeah, I can remember that. So I guess what I'm saying is we are getting closer and closer to the end of 26, and everybody's kind of sitting on the edge of their chair waiting for announcements from GM. So, GM, what's the problem? Can you put out the announcement? Can you tell us what's going on for sure, so we can stop speculating, so we can stop trying to guess to figure out what you are going to do, and are you going to make the new Camaro, and what's it going to be, and what platforms are we going to have available. Now, I'll be honest with you. You know, if they wanted to put a 4-door Camaro out, great. There probably are some people out there that may want to have one. That's not me. I wouldn't buy one. But there might be a single mom out there, or a guy with the family that has a couple of kids that wants a 4-door Camaro. Great, put that out. Hopefully they'll buy it. But for me, I'm interested in the Z28. I'm interested in an updated ZL1. I'm interested in a 2SS with the 6.7 liter V8 in it with 535 to the back wheel. That interests me. That gets my attention. So I wanted to start the show off talking about that. Now you guys leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Now, I'm going to move on to a couple of other things because, again, I just spent 26 minutes talking about the new Camaro and can it happen? So let's move on. So last week I went to Cars and Coffee. And for some reason I was pretty exhausted. I went to the gym. I always go to the gym. My gym is right there in front of the place where we have the Cars and Coffee. So I went to the gym. I always get a prime parking spot because I'm there before anybody else. And I set my chair up, and I just kind of was relaxing. So on that real quick, I have backed way off of what I'm doing on YouTube because I've just decided that I'm exhausted. I got a lot going on. I'm working a lot of hours. I was trying to do too much. I was putting out 2, sometimes 3 videos a week. And, you know, you guys don't understand. Sometimes it takes a couple of hours to produce a video. Well, and I said this 2 weeks ago. I'm not going to go into that again. But I just, for the last couple of weeks, I just kind of took a break from doing anything. I would go to car shows. I would go to Cars and Coffee. I wouldn't even take my camera out, take photos. I didn't do any videos. I just was taking a break. And I was sitting at the back of my car, and I heard these 3 young men came up, and they were talking about my car, and I had the target top off so you could see inside to the blue interior. And this kid started talking about the Corvette, and I could immediately tell that this young man knew what he was talking about. And the way that you know what you're talking about is by doing your research and understanding how things work. And his friend's like, I wonder if it's a 1LT or a 2LT. And the kid immediately nope, it's got to be at least a 3LT because you can't get this furniture or you can't get this interior unless it's a 3LT. Long story short, I introduced myself to the young man. His name is Austin. Austin, if you're watching, thanks for, subscribing to my channel. And nice young man. He has a YouTube channel. So guess what now? I'm gonna encourage you guys to go over and check out Austin's channel. The name of his channel is Austin's Automotive Archive. All one word. Austin's Automotive Archive. Nice young man. Very much of a beginner at YouTube. I think maybe less than 200 subscribers so far. But you know what? He just put a video out a couple days ago about him doing the track experience, and he got to drive a Z06 on the track in Illinois. And I just watched his video. What a great video. Congratulations, Austin, on that. I know that was a great experience for you. So my new friend, it's kind of cool. There are a lot of people on here on YouTube that want to compete. they get worried and they get a little nervous when they find out you have a channel, because they're like, oh boy, somebody else that I got to compete with. I'm not that way. Like, if you like my stuff and you subscribe and you watch my stuff, great. If you don't, if there's something about me that you don't like and you don't want to watch it, that's fine. But I also want to support other people that have a love for this, like I do. Austin's Automotive Archive. He's a beginner. He's just coming up. Like, go over to his channel and hit subscribe and start watching his videos. Help him out. Hit the thumbs up. Make a comment, because we all know that YouTube loves it when you do that. It means that you like their content. You like what they're putting out. I've done it. I hit the thumbs up and sent him a comment like, dude, that's awesome. A Z06 on a track. I've never even done that. So awesome. Austin's Automotive Archive. Go check it out. My new friend here in Fort Wayne with a YouTube channel. Now, I already told you about the time off that I took. And I'm just going to tell you, I've got 3 or 4 videos in the bank that I need to produce. I need to take the time, make the video, and release them. When I do, make sure you hit the thumbs up. Make sure you watch it all the way through. Again, that helps out my channel. If you can, I don't want to sound like I'm begging, but support my channel. It helps me out. It helps YouTube know that you like what you see, and check it out. So anyway, now let's talk real quick. Let's talk about the Grand Sport. Now, everybody's dropping videos like, oh my gosh, this is the first Grand Sport ever. This is, our dealership got the first Grand Sport in, and it sounds so amazing, and it's better than this, and it's better than that. But again, we go back to 2 weeks ago when I said 35% of Corvettes that are being produced right now are Grand Sports. So everybody's jumping on that bandwagon, and everybody's talking about the new Grand Sport. And again, I'm still in the same spot. Like, is it really worth $16,000 more to have a Grand Sport over a regular Stingray? Because really the only thing you get is different suspension and a wide body car. Like, if you put them side by side, you can't really tell the difference between the two cars. And so I just wanted to say that, like, I think it's great. I'm so glad that they brought back the Heritage package, with the Admiral blue, with the white stripe, red interior. Those look so amazing. I'm flabbergasted when I see them. But they're going to make so many of them that everybody's going to have one. And then how special are they actually going to be? I don't know. But what's next for Corvette? Like, I got something on my face that's driving me nuts. Sorry about that. But what is next for GM? Are they going to flood the market the next couple of years with the Grand Sport and then start making the C9? Like, what do you guys think? I don't know. Again, in the middle of all this Grand Sport stuff, we see visions of what they might put out a C9. Like, I don't know that I would ever buy a C9 just because of the way they look. Like, that whole shell, the whole top of the car is a shell, and it folds up to get in and out of the car. Like, it doesn't even really have a door. You just crawl out of the seat. I'm not sure that I would ever, like, the way they look. I don't know that it's that practical, but anyway, I have a C8. I'm excited about my C8. I've got a couple more videos that I need to put out that I haven't had a chance to put out yet. I will put those out in the next week or two. And then I've got, in the beginning of August, first week of August, just got a reminder notification today, August 4th. Have an appointment for PPF on the front of my car and the tuxedo wrap. I cannot wait to see what my car looks like after that. It's going to be incredible. And then, of course, a couple weeks later, Corvettes of Carlisle, one of the biggest Corvette shows. Well, I think it is the biggest Corvette show in the country. Over 4,000 Corvettes in one place. I can't wait to go to that show. I've wanted to go to that for several years, and I didn't have a Corvette. I didn't think it make sense to go to a Corvette show in a Camaro. Just like it doesn't make sense to go to a Camaro show in a Corvette. So anyway, with that being said, I'm pretty stoked about August coming up. I ended up having to give up my vacation this month in July. I missed out on Camaro Nationals, which really bothered me because I wanted to go to that really bad, but I didn't get to go. So those of you that went, I hope you had a great time. I heard that Saturday was pretty uncomfortable with all the rain, but maybe next year I'll get back out there, because I'm telling you, one of the best shows for Camaros, if you're a Camaro person, is Corvette Nationals. Over 600 cars at that show, and it's incredible. It was incredible last year. I'm sure it was this year. I just wasn't able to go. But anyway, with that being said, I think I'm going to go ahead and sign off. And I just wanted to touch base with you again. I'll be back in 2 weeks, like I always do. That'll be literally the day that I have an appointment for my Corvette, which is August 4th. I'll be back on August 4th with more information about cars, Corvettes and Camaros, and we'll see what develops over the next couple weeks and find out if GM ever decides to put out an announcement, because now we're moving into August, and I'm to the understanding they were going to start producing the Camaro at the end of 26. Well, guess what? 2 weeks from now is August 4th. That I can't imagine it getting any closer to the end of 26 than August, like August, September. Let's go. So anyway, I'll see you back in 2 weeks. I will see you back in 2 weeks. Thanks for tuning in with me today on Shop Talk. And if you have any comments, please make sure to leave a comment. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. And on your way out, make sure you smash that thumbs up button. Again, that helps out my channel. And make sure you check out Austin's Automotive Archives, my new friend that I met last week at Cars and Coffee. And I will see you out probably at Cars and Coffee this week, and I have plans to go to that again. So if you live in the Fort Wayne area and you watch my show, stop by and say hi. And MusicMan, I'm going to sign off for now. You guys have a great day. Be safe. Make sure you wear your seatbelt and don't get a ticket. I'm out.